Blazers, I like it like.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue, Mondello's Pizzeria. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, directly across the street from Mondello's Pizzeria. Lennox Auto Body at 1222 Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. See Gene and the great staff over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank with 2 locations. The original location on Vanda High and the east side location corner of College and Pershing. King of Cheyenne. The 19s are coming. 18s gotta go at some sensational prizes. See Key of Cheyenne today over on East Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, where, yes, you can get 3 squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 convenient drive-thrus open Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service still offering their hail of a sale. And again, great bargains right now on Jayco products, RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, all for your inspection. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. And today it's Tuesday. That means it's Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. That's all I need to say. Taco Tuesday, every Tuesday, Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we got our program underway with our scoreboard, which is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC, at least from this past weekend, as we got to catch up on a lot of things. For women's soccer, they were in action down in Denver, Colorado. Then the region, at least Region 9 semifinals, they unfortunately did lose, at least they won their semifinal contest, but they did lose in the finals, though, to Western Wyoming Community College, 1-0. So LCCC women's soccer season is over. For the men, however, they were victorious in their final contest against Sheridan College. They did win 2-0. So congratulations to the LCCC men's soccer program. They are Region 9 at least winners, and they will move on playing at least this Friday coming up. They will take on Pima Community College down in Tucson, Arizona in the district semifinal. So they're not in the national championship at least tournament yet. They are, you now have to go through district tournament time. So at least congratulations to LCCC men's soccer, again advancing on to the district finals. Also to LCCC women's volleyball, they will be in action coming up this, at least, actually, as I take a look at this, they will be in action this Wednesday. So tomorrow they will be here in Cheyenne over at Story Gym. They will host the winner of Lamar and Casper coming up earlier in that day, as LCCC is the #1 team out of the north, as it is Region 9 volleyball tournament time happening over at Story Gym. Also, too, in action from the past weekend, Cheyenne Stampede, who are taking on a home-and-home, at least, contest with Northern Colorado Eagles. It was a 6-1 loss for the Stampede on Friday. Saturday's contest was 7-1 in victory, at least in favor of the Northern Colorado Eagles. So Cheyenne Stampede on a 10-game losing streak, unfortunately, to start off the season. NHL action for tonight. Calgary Flames in Buffalo taking on the Sabres. Pittsburgh Penguins at PPG Paints Arena hosting the New York Islanders. Boston Bruins in Carolina taking on the Hurricanes. Columbus Blue Jackets at home at Nationwide hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Dallas Stars in Montreal taking on the Canadiens at Central Bell Center. Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the New Jersey Devils. Vegas Golden Knights in Nashville taking on the Preds. That game can be seen nationally on NBC Sports Network. Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Place hosting the Minnesota Wild. Ottawa Sens in Arizona taking on the Coyotes. Anaheim Ducks at Honda Center hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. And the Rangers in San Jose at SAP Center taking on the San Jose Sharks. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA schedule, it'll be the Miami Heat. They will match up with the Charlotte Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. At the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, the Cavaliers looking for their first win. I wonder why they're not winning, as they will take on the Atlanta Hawks. One note of interest, Larry Nance, former UW standout, averaging just under 10 points a game, 7 rebounds, 4.2 assists per game for the lowly Cavaliers.
Note as well that Tyronn Lue does not coach that team anymore as well.
Yeah?
Go figure.
Oh, gee.
They started 0-6 without a LeBron, and they blame the head coach.
Yes, they did. Sacramento Kings on the road. They'll be in the Amway Center in Orlando to face off with the Orlando Magic. Pistons and the Celtics in the TD Garden tonight. Raptors hosting the 76ers. That'll be at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. No more the Air Canada Center. At the Toyota Center, the Rockets hosting the Trailblazers. It will be the Wizards and the Grizz in the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. And the Clippers and the Thunder at the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC later on this evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Prowady, Nick Prowady. We were here yesterday, but some circumstances kind of prevented us from being on the air. And one of our pieces of equipment here, nothing really of note that could prevent us from doing the radio side, but felt it was, apropos to have it done. And my buddy came on by. Removed our web stream computer, working on it today.
Yeah, so unfortunately for 1480KRAE.com, at least the web stream for the audio, unfortunately, is down for the time being, but hopefully we will have it back up before Friday, where at least we now know it will be East versus Natrona Part 2. At least this time, East will be traveling on the road up to Casper to take on the Mustangs, and a battle of 4 versus 1. Game also, too, that you had Central again. You'll have to be the voice of what happened in Class 4A, but a game that you had, Central and Thunder Basin, kind of turned out to be what we expected. A little bit more respectable score out of Central from what I saw. Again, I do believe a final 34-0. At least it was not the 45-0 blowout that we saw. Central, at least from what I could assume, gave a little effort in that, at least a little bit better effort than they did in Week 0 way back when. But yes, at least for us here on KRAE, we will have Cheyenne East versus Casper Natrona coming up this Friday. 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 pregame show here on 1480 KRAE. Again, it's only on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM at 1480KRAE.com. Hopefully when we get that back up. Again, no visual, no video, no Periscope, no YouTube, because unfortunately we don't want to pay that $500 at least rights to broadcast that. So, again, only audio coming up for this Friday's.
Yeah, the NFHS wants you to pay for it. So, unfortunately, where we offer it free, we kind of get our hands slapped on this one. And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. I kind of disagree. I mean, with my stats that I had in the Thunder Basin Central game, again, Thunder Basin winning 34-0.
Again, it wasn't the Week 0 45-0 blowout, but it was still a crushing by the Thunder Basin Bolts, but a little bit more if anything, again, where I compare the two scores, at least Central held them under. It wasn't a running clock in that contest at a point in time. It was, say what you will, at least it was a little bit closer than it was in Week 0. So to me, it shows a little bit improvement, but not much against the Thunder Basin team.
Well, the running game for Central didn't get underway until the second half. They threw the football a lot. Now, according to the paper said Dawson McCleary is 19 of 50. Again, I think when you come up to the line of scrimmage and you throw the ball down to stop the clock, that's considered a forward pass.
Yeah.
So I included that in the pass. I had McCleary throwing the football like about 56 times in that game. I think
give or take.
I think I was pretty much on.
Still, though, that's
I was on
kind
track
of an astronomical.
Yeah, I thought the guy had done like a
throwing.
doubleheader in high school baseball. But Thunder Basin, again, a couple of big plays like their first touchdown with Edwards. He goes 42 yards on a run. Then he caught an 89-yard screen pass. Beautiful setup screen pass by Mason Hamilton. He takes it 89 yards. I mean, the drives that they had out of the box, the 2 drives in the first quarter, were just like, but it's deep in their own backyard.
It's plays that we've seen the Thunder Basin team can absolutely do. We saw it in Week 0 against Central High here in Cheyenne. So, again, Thunder Basin we know is a for-real team. They are a formidable outfit here in Class 4A. Will they be tested coming up this Friday against Sheridan? Absolutely. How much will they be tested against the Bronx? Again, I think Thunder Basin has proven enough throughout the season that they are, if not number 1 team, probably number 2 right there. But at least this Friday's score showed, hey, yeah, you're not coming up here and upsetting us anytime soon. It's going to be tough going for the Sheridan Bronx coming up this Friday as well, where, again, they got to go to Gillette.
Yeah, well, and again, going back to the Central game, Central playing that second half without Nico Vite.
That's a big loss.
Did that make a difference in the score? No.
It could have been.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple times where the Indians had a chance to.
Again, Vite is that target. He is that target, though.
Yeah,
he is that favorite target.
Brady Storbo, though, they said here in the paper he caught 6 passes. I had him down for 7 receptions. But again, come see, come saw. The thing was with Dawson McCleary, you lose a weapon like Nico. That hurt them quite a bit in the second half. You were mentioning Thunder Basin going up against the Sheridan Bronx. I can't really call that one. I have not seen Sheridan. I've seen a little bit of them on film.
Yeah.
And, they're very good. There's no doubt about that Sheridan.
I think they've taken a step back. I don't think so.
I think you're wrong.
On paper, though, I don't think they match up with Thunder Basin. I think, especially at home,
you're wrong.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Bolts come away with that victory.
I think for every score the Bolts have, Sheridan can match up with them that quick. Both are quick strike offenses.
But Sheridan has also, too, lost to the likes of a Thunder Basin.
So they lost.
Yeah.
That was back then. It's like
and they lost pretty handily to Thunder Basin.
It's the same thing with Cheyenne East. To beat especially when you get to this round, to beat a team twice, it's tough. And, of course, you're going to try to beat Natrona now without Grant and Buell. Now, Tanner,
that's asking a lot.
Tanner Muchmore last year on the sophomore JV side beat Natrona.
That's, again, say what you will about sophomore JV games, where is that going to be an indication of at least things that come this Friday? We can only hope so for the Thunderbirds.
I would think that would give them some confidence in getting that win against Laramie. Again, it was
that win, from what I remember, that score at least being final, that was a little too close for comfort, but also too, again, we are, at least East is missing Factor X, that is Graydon Buell, and again, he will not return this season with that injury, but that score was a little bit, at least from what I saw at the final, a little bit scary if I was an Eastside Thunderbirds fan.
Well, here's the deal too. You look, and again, Laramie's been a pesky outfit all season long, but you look at the situation with the Cheyenne Thunderbirds with Chance Allmiller. You threw him in against Sheridan. That's kind of like the job interview portion, like Coach Goff said. I thought he performed very well against Laramie. Again, the numbers, 10 of 19 passing, that is not bad. Running the football, he had, 57 yards rushing. The Thunderbirds as a team rushed for over 240 yards. So going up against Casper Natrona.
Is that something that they could do, though, against a Natrona team, or can they run?
That's up to the offensive line.
And again, going back to that, at least first contest here at Cheyenne against Natrona, you had Graydon Buell, and he kind of aired out the ball against that Mustangs team. Doesn't sound like Chad Goff's going to necessarily do that. It does kind of seem a similar situation to what you're seeing over in Laramie with the Cowboys of, all right, we'll toss it every once in a while, but the run game is going to be the majority of our offense. is that something that Natrona, obviously, they're going to read on, they're going to expect that, but is East going to be able to open up holes, get those big yardage, get those runs that they need to upset this Natrona team? I don't know. Natrona's very good. Again,
there's
both sides.
I'm not going to take nothing away from Natrona, but Natrona also, too, wasn't tested last week against Casper Kelly Walsh.
If anything, that's for them to get healthy.
I look at Cheyenne East getting battle tested against Laramie, and again, they already not so much they have that brim of confidence as they go up to the Oil City. They know they've beaten Natrona. They know what to expect from Natrona, as does Natrona against them. The problem with the Thunderbirds is they got to shut down the run. They got hurt a little bit by both Dodd and Upton last week against Laramie. So the defense,
and again, it's something that East has been dealing with this entire season. They've been working on it. Again, Chad Goff is, at least on post-game interviews with us, he has mentioned that, yes, it is something that they're trying to address, and they're going to have to address it here very soon, or at least not say they need to play near perfect on that defense side and contain every single rush out there, but they need to do a lot better than what they've been doing from the past couple contests that we've seen out of East, where, again, especially on tackling, they have, again, wrapping up. Chad Goff has also mentioned this of saying, hey, we need to wrap up better. We need to get them down to the ground. They've had issues with that. Natrona's going to take advantage of you not wrapping up and taking them down to the turf soon as possible.
Well, the Thunderbirds, in my opinion, can't come out and sleepwalk in the first quarter, which they did against Laramie. They weren't there. They got that wake-up call the fourth quarter and started playing East High Thunderbird football.
But is it fair to assume in that first quarter, again, we're with Sheridan, with at least that first quarter against Laramie, is it just kind of that filling out process right now of understanding or at least figuring out what to expect with Chance Allman?
Well,
just kind of easing them in.
You could say that too, Nick, but also, too, you need to start sending messages. And you need to, again, if you're going to move on to the next round of the playoffs, you need to kick Laramie up and down the field like you did in the fourth period. So when you're going up to Casper Natrona, and I will give Coach Goff this, he always has a good game plan in place.
Yeah,
and I'm sure what Natrona saw against East in the first meeting, they will see similar, but there's going to be some new twists. And I've seen a Coach Goff team that was highly I don't want to use the word. They were basically, it was going to be Casper Natrona, and East was just there to take up, 48 minutes. The next thing you know, the Thunderbirds are winning, moving on to the state championship. The Thunderbirds will have a different game plan of sorts, obviously with Chance Miller now at the quarterback position, but the line, the Hosses up front, they got to open up for the run game. They can't go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You can't do that against Natrona.
No,
you can't. Natrona. Let them break free offensively with the running game, but also to be very wary of their passing attack. They are a very complete team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Again, they are the number one seed in Class 4A.
But the Thunderbirds go up there with their chins up a little higher, knowing they have beaten this team.
I think they have a chip on their shoulder. Again, a contest that we had last year in the playoffs. They're in Casper Natrona, the same, or at least not same East team, but the Seaside Thunderbirds removed from last year. They got whipped on last year in the play. They got whipped on last year, so that kind of put, that's probably sinking into those players' minds right now. Have a little chip on their shoulder of, hey, and I wouldn't doubt. And again, knowing Chad Goff played for him for a few years, he's going to reiterate that. He's going to have stuff posted around of saying, hey, remember last year in the playoffs, they did this to you. Let's change that. Let's change those fortunes around and prove that we are the better team. Which again, I think. East minus, again, with Graydon Buell going down, yes, that's a big loss for the East High Thunderbirds. But with him, if he was still a part of this team, I still believe East High is the better outfit in Class 4A. I think without a doubt.
Truly spoken from an East High graduate. Let me tell you this. Number one and number two.
They were competing for the number one seed. Again, they had that shot last game of the regular season if they were to win against Sheridan. They had, again, what would have determined that was a coin flip. Again, they've already beaten Natrona. They had issues with Thunder Basin on the road. That you can say whatever you want to, but
they were terrible. They were terrible up there. I did the game. I can tell you that was not a good ball club up there that night. But I'm going to tell you this. Technically, with everything going according to Hoyle, 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
It would not surprise me that both Natrona and Thunder Basin win. Okay? Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
But I will not sell short that Sheridan can go up there or go down to Gillette and beat Thunder Basin.
Again, Sheridan defending state champions. Yeah, they know how to get over.
And it wouldn't surprise me that the Thunderbirds go to Natrona and pull the upset there.
They've already beaten them this year. What says they can't do it again?
So, anyway, we will have that broadcast for you on the radio side and the stream side.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed that we get this all settled. We're getting there.
We'll get it done.
All right.
I already been told today we should have it back up after we get done with the show. Anyway, 5:30 with our pregame show. Kickoff will be at 6 p.m. It will be East Natrona, one semifinal of the Class 4A, and we'll also keep you updated on Thunder Basin, along with the Sheridan Broncos. Also, Pine Bluffs.
They did
moving on.
Class 2A was just nothing. All four of those games was just complete whippings. Just 56-0, 60-0. It was just every high seed just ended up winning in Class 2A. I mean, what a joke.
Class 1A.
Yeah,
that's
Class
what
1A. Yeah. Anyways, it was just a complete joke of those first four games between all those teams. They all just cruised to victory.
Well, Pine Bluffs draws Bighorn again at Bighorn.
They've been beaten by them. That was their first upset.
And the Rams came down here and pushed Pine Bluffs around. You got to get them up there now near Sheridan.
Again, don't sell short Pine Bluffs. It's the same with Sheridan. Hey, Bighorn has beaten you this season. Yes, they beat you here on your home turf there in Pine Bluffs. But again, I don't sell short the Hornets. 2-time back-to-back state champions. They know what to do. They know how to overcome the odds. They know how to beat teams like this who they have to look up to. For the Hornets, I don't think anything short of if they lose, am I surprised? No. If they win, I'm not surprised either. It could go either way in that contest. It should be a flip of the coin, and that might be a contest that might come down to the last play of the game. Determines.
All right, we got to move along here. We're going to take a timeout. We come back. We're going to talk college football. The Battle for the Bronze Boot happened on Friday night, same time we were doing high school football. We're back after these words.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 KRAE, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
John Barrasso, fighting for all of Wyoming.
Wyoming is a land of spectacular beauty and great history. Teddy Roosevelt praised Wyoming's cowboy cavalry that helped form his Rough Riders. That cowboy courage and determination lives on today in our people.
John Barrasso is working to unleash Wyoming's potential, fighting to end the war on Wyoming's energy economy, honor and serve Wyoming veterans, confirm common sense judges who understand the Constitution, protect our farmers and ranchers from costly Washington rules and mandates. And John fought for and won tax cuts that help hardworking Wyoming families and businesses.
As a doctor, I help people get healthy again. Now as a senator, I fight to protect our state and make our country stronger. I'm John Barrasso. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote to keep fighting for you and Wyoming's families.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
Feeling that cool Wyoming breeze in the early morning? That means fall is here, and our Wyoming winter is close behind. So now's the time to make sure your furnace is in good repair. And Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue is the place to go. Marv's trained technicians can inspect, repair, and replace your furnace and boiler and are available 24/7. Freezing temperatures in Wyoming can happen at any time. No one wants to shiver in their own home. Don't get the chills. Stay cozy. Call Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 316-7634 today.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers with highs around 42. For tonight, it'll be cloudy with more snow showers likely with lows around 24. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with highs around 45. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame.
Let's play ball.
You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, good afternoon. We'll go ahead and get started. Quickly a recap of the game Friday night. It was really an exceptional win from our football team. As a coaching staff, we feel like our football team is getting better. Things are showing up in practice, and that bared out Friday night. It was a great atmosphere, and certainly want to wish CSU the best as they finish out their year. We've got a lot in store for us, getting ready for San Jose. Each coach that I have talked to that has played San Jose said they're a lot better than their record. And after spending long hours of digging in on the tape, I would agree with that. And so I don't think we sustained any significant injuries. We'll see how things go during the course of this week, but we'll keep you abreast. And so with that, I'll open it up to any questions anybody may have. Yes, Robert.
Greg, is there an update on C.J. Johnson and I guess and also C.J. Colden? I know you mentioned last week you might get Johnson back. Is there any chance of that?
I would say both of them would be doubtful at this time. Yep.
I guess, Greg, anything on Gavan's situation?
Johanna?
Yeah.
No, you know what? The statement that we released is where it's at. I think everybody in the room recognizes the sensitive situation. There's going to be a legal process, and that legal process needs to unfold. I still have very limited amount of information, and so, at this time, Johanna is suspended indefinitely.
The decision to start Chambers, and I know it was a tentative one. What did you see out of him that made you just kind of take that leap?
Sure. Well, it was certainly a leap of faith. Now, he did some really good things, we felt like, in the Utah State game, showed his natural ability. He's a competitive guy that can run and pass. We thought during the course of the week he was, really embracing the game plan. Got better as each practice went along. Coach Vegan's done a nice job with him. And, we did not feel like that stage was going to be too big for Sean. And I think we were right. And it was great to see him come out and perform the way we did. We're still, but we are excited about Tyler. We think Tyler brings good things to the table for our football team, so we're going to continue to work those guys. But at this time, we'll make the determination that Sean will go in and start this next week unless some things unfold in practice that we had not planned on.
What have you seen from San Jose State that shows you that they've improved?
Well, there's been a couple games that they've been really competitive in. First of all, I think their quarterback's playing well, and they've got some really good skilled receivers. They've got a great tight end, not a good tight end. Their tight end, I think Oliver, is outstanding, and they utilize him well. And so they can move the ball offensively. Defensively, they've got good athleticism. They tackle well. They move in space. I think that they've had a couple unfortunate lapses in certain games, but last week they played a complete game and really got after UNLV, and so a big challenge, but a great opportunity for us. Yes, Robert.
I know that it's kind of like win or go home, so to speak. You want to get bowl eligible, and you mentioned San Jose is better than the record indicates, but you guys haven't lost to them last year. I don't imagine overlooking or getting ahead of yourselves is that an issue?
No, that's not an issue. I tell you what, Robert, we have a hungry football team that's getting better right now, and I can appreciate the clamoring, some of the talk about bowl eligibility. Our focus is doing whatever we got to do to beat San Jose, and so other elements are way down the road. San Jose beat us last year. I think our players recognize that they're a good football team, and we haven't beaten them since I've been our head coach. I know that, and so Coach Brennan does a good job, and they've got a good football team. Yes.
Coach, last week you talked about the competitive nature of your team and seeing more out of these guys and changing their DNA. Have you seen that response last week in practice and through CSU?
Saw it in practice, and then it really became apparent in the game. You saw some of our offensive guys finishing off blocks. You saw receivers going for extra yardage. I know James Price made a couple big-time plays. When he caught the ball in traffic, I think he cut his tongue. He had to get his stitches on his tongue and went back in and made a couple more big plays. You saw our quarterback stiff arm one of their defensive ends and throw him down. Nico rushed for it. Yeah, starting to look like we're supposed to look like.
Where'd that come from, Coach? Was that you challenging them or making changes? Where did that come from?
I think certainly the biggest pep talk I know is when you make some changes. You know, you can say all you want to as a coach, but when you start making some changes, that changes some dynamics. And then I think also within the leadership of our football team, some guys were fed up. And then we did challenge them as a coaching staff. And so kind of a trifecta there. We'll need to make sure we do that again this week. Yes.
Another freshman that you started for the first time last week was Watts.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out a couple of times, but I see he's still number 1 on the depth chart.
Yeah, he is on the depth chart. He's got a little bit of a knee. I don't know all the specifics on it. They told us that he would be probable, so that's where he's listed there. Yes.
Have you, I mean, I haven't been here obviously, have you ever had 3 offensive linemen being starters for you since you've been here?
3?
At the same time?
It's been a
freshman.
Yeah. I think we've had 2, but not 3.
What is it about those guys? I know Zach just took over, but Eric's been there some, then Keegan, Rudy. What is it about those guys that they put themselves in position?
Well, I think we've had a reshuffling of the deck. We had some guys through the program that are no longer here, and these guys have emerged, and they've done a good job. And some of them were good on the scout team. Keegan and Rudy, and then Zach is a guy that we had planned to not play a lot, and then when I talked about that competitive nature, he's a guy that just kept finishing stuff off. The future's now. We're playing now, but I can tell you the future looks really bright when you have those freshman linemen and you got a freshman quarterback. We got to keep getting better.
Ravante stepping in for Johanna last week. What did you see out of that young guy? Obviously, he played last year and so far this year, but what have you seen in terms of his development, Ravante Bohl?
Well, I'll address how he played in the game, first of all. Beyond the interception that he made, he's an athletic guy, but they virtually had hardly any rushing yardage. And CSU had not been a great rushing team anyhow, but several times Ravante, took his guy, the offensive guard, and shoved him 2.5 yards in the backfield and had him one way and threw him the other way. He's got really good strength, and so he's played that card well.
Coach Bohl had some pretty selective things to say on a post-game conference, and one of those things is that they're not a very good football team. Was that ever in the mindset of anybody on this roster, coaches or not, that's exactly where the team was at?
Our team? We don't believe so. Mike is a good friend of mine, and I know that the football seasons come and go, and that's his evaluation of their club. We felt like we had begun to see some progress in the Utah State game. Before the Utah State game, I don't know if we were on the right trajectory, but we began to make some changes, subtle changes in the dynamics within our football team. We didn't win the ball game, but I left the field that day knowing that we were making some good moves and thought that if we could continue that path that we'd be a better football team. I think we are a better football team. We're a long ways away from being a good football team, but we're a better football team. Yes, Robert.
Greg, I know these last few weeks with short weeks because of weather and travel, but then, did you give the players the weekend off, and do you feel like you're kind of getting, I don't know if you're completely fresh at this time of year, but just getting back to some normalcy as far as your schedule and preparation and rest and all that kind of stuff?
It was the first time that our players really had a complete day. Saturday, a lot of the guys that were from the Colorado area spent the weekend with their family, which is great. A lot of other guys came back. We did come home late, but having a chance that next day to not do a whole heck of a lot on Saturday. I know for our coaches, many of them slept 14 hours because we've just been so sleep deprived. And so, an opportunity to get rejuvenated, but there was not an attitude of, well, we beat our rival, we beat CSU, let's all just take a couple days off as a coaching staff. We didn't do that, but it was not only mandated by the NCAA that we have 2 days in a row on how our schedule comes out I think it was prudent too to make sure our players did get away a little bit and have a chance to get some rest and get healed up, because that was a gauntlet that we went through. I mean, I think if anybody that was on the trip saw our football team all laying on the luggage rack in the Denver airport at about 5 o'clock in the morning, it was, you thought, how in the world are we going to get ready to play Utah State? So it was good to get back in a good form. Yes.
I know Keon's still listed at the top of that target at corner, but Tyler, I've noticed the last couple games, gotten a lot of those reps. Is that a permanent thing?
We're the depth chart's is kind of contingent upon some of the calls that we make. That's a starting point. You'll see all those guys play, but yeah, we're certainly moving Tyler around. Tyler's moved around. Marcus moved around some, and Keon is going to move around some too.
How would you assess how Tyler's played this year?
I think he's played well. There was a big a discussion, and we're still having it. Was he a better inside nickel? We call it like a third corner. Is he better outside? And so we're fashioning our defense to give ourselves the best chance to win. I thought that the CSU receivers are really, really a talented group, and our guys hung in there. We did probably change our game plan a little bit once we got up X number of possessions. You saw us maybe play a little bit more coverage. It was going to prevent the big ball over the top. Coach Hazelton and I were in constant communication. I was counting possessions, time, and so they did move the ball some, but I thought the corners did well. Tyler did particularly well. Anything? Yes.
Winning cures kind of the ailment of losing. There's always two ends of that spectrum. From the mindset of these guys, from what you've heard or overheard, or maybe kind of got a Post-it note, what was it about the message from these guys that basically says, you know what, we're here to finish the year out regardless of what the record is? What do you take away from that?
Well, first of all, the resolve of this football team to keep on getting better in practice, and it's, I don't disagree with you. Success begets success, and there's wisdom and truth with that, but you got to have something go right. And I do think that there was a ground swelling of turning the corner in the middle of the Utah State game. I just sensed there was a different vibe that our football team had. Sometimes you can't put your finger on it, but I knew it was there, and we had a really good week of practice, even though it was a shorter week. Our guys were really focused, and I thought we played with a great deal of energy. I know we charted our miles per hour by our football team. I think it was one of the highest that we had. So it meant our football team was set, ready to play, and they ran hard and they were hungry. And I thought we played physical too. I mean, I thought we played, there was some physical hits, and I thought the biggest telling sign was the line of scrimmage. When, we were knocking their guys back on defense and we were getting some movement up front. That's a good starting point. Yes.
You mentioned you still have very little info on Johanna's situation. Is that because you're letting the legal process play out, or at what point do you start getting more information to make a decision?
First of all, the one thing I've learned many years ago is as a head football coach, I'm the head football coach, and I'm not an investigator. And when you look at off-field issues that encompass some of these issues, that's outside of my discretion, and it should be. We have the university process. We have great people at the university that are going to go through that process, and there's the legal process, and eventually I'll get some information. But until those, I wouldn't say hoops, but until that protocol is filled, I'm out of it, and that's the way it should be.
Offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 US Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com. The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay.
Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jose Cuervo Especial Silver or Gold Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $13.99. Corona, Corona Light, Corona Premier, Corona Familiar, Pacifico, Modelo Especial or Negra Modelo, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans or bottles, $14.99. And Malibu Coconut Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $21.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Good game, boys. You showed some real fight. Like when Wachowski put that hit on our own mascot. Solid work, son. Okay, Friday was for football, but Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. You just heard the press conference from one Craig Bohl as the Cowboys won Friday night. I will say this, Nick, listening to the game on the way home, and yeah, they made a mistake on the official press thing because he's also listed as number 12 too.
Oh yeah, okay.
So anyway,
we're trying to figure out as official scorekeeping has quarterback. It was number 12 of, I do believe he's a cornerback, not a quarterback. It wasn't listed on the official stats of Chambers. So, again, as I did not watch the game, was busy in San Jose, California over this past weekend, so did not catch the game, did not see who started. It was, again, from last week's press conference, Craig Bohl did come out and say that there was going to be a lot of oars in that quarterback, so we weren't sure who was going to start for the Cowboys. We did know on CSU it was going to be Colin Hill. It looked like from the stats that he posted for Friday, he had a fun time, 34 of 54, 333 yards, but no TDs, but he did get sacked twice.
Well, most of that was all in the second half. Now, here, like I said, I got to hear the majority of the second half coming back from Gillette. Thank goodness I could find us, and it was tough finding anybody that was carrying the game.
How about thank goodness you didn't have to listen to the first half, 3-0 at halftime?
it was brutal, and in the second half, the Cowboys played very well, especially in the third quarter. And it's a good thing they did build up that lead. They were up 17-0 because CSU started answering back to every touchdown.
Kind of the theme for the Cowboys. It takes them about a first half to figure out things on the offensive side and then start firing. So it does not surprise me that, yes, it was 3-0. That 0, though, on CSU does surprise me a little bit because, again, as I just mentioned with Colin Hill, again, 54 passing attempts with 2 INTs, 333 yards. This is a Rams offense that can be a little bit potent. They're not afraid to throw the football. Clearly, again, they can run as well.
That got beat by, Northern Illinois? I mean, we were there, and it wasn't even pretty. This is a team that's not good.
It's a team that's beaten New Mexico, though.
It's all right, but this is a team that's not good, Nick.
No, I mean,
the Cowboys aren't good either.
These are both teams that are not good, but I think Colorado State,
very mediocre.
I think for CSU after this loss, we stamped that CSU was probably one of the worst teams in the Mountain West. You read into that New Mexico win again, maybe it's just the Lobos having to come up to Fort Collins that got under them. I still think New Mexico, as much as they did lose to CSU, is a better team than what the Rams are. Rams this past Friday, though, they proved that they're down there with San Jose. They're not a good outfit.
In their own home stadium. I mean, they said 32,000 showed up.
I have there was a hard time to believe that.
Matter of fact, even Kevin mentioned that on the broadcast that a lot of folks had left. Guess when?
Halftime.
At halftime.
That's what they do down there in Fort Collins. When, again, a 3-0 score at half, yeah, I'd probably have left as well. But
they said 32,125 was an announced crowd.
There's no way.
Well, anyway,
there's no way, again, with everything happening around at least Friday with playoffs up here, at least high school football down there in Colorado, especially there in Fort Collins. It is a big high school football. They have good programs there in at least that metro area. There's no way that many people traveled on a Friday night to go see this toilet bowl, essentially, between the Cowboys and the Rams. There's no way that it drew that many fans. But if it did, hey, they still, at least for those who did travel, if you are a Cowboys fan, you did, at least for what we haven't been able to say for quite some time, you did get to see a Wyoming victory, though.
Well, it's interesting, too, in the press conference that Bohl has talking about postseason. Now,
should be the furthest thing on his mind.
But here's the deal, and again, I'll expand on it, because he's got now the weakest part of the schedule left.
Absolutely.
San Jose
should beat them.
And again,
there should be no doubt that
the Air Force.
I still pause on the Falcons. You do not know.
Should beat the Air Force. Now, again, we were talking, you and me, that they may not win another game. Well, they proved us wrong. They beat the Rams, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they beat the Rams. And then they got New Mexico.
I don't think they beat New Mexico down there in Albuquerque. I don't think so.
3 games, though. That's where Coach Bohl is, because he can't hang his hat on winning the Mountain West Mountain Division.
No.
Can't hang his hat on finishing second place.
That's not going to happen.
That's right. So what he has to hang his hat on, well, we got 3 weak teams, maybe as bad as us, and we might be able to beat them.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
and again, all 3 games are must-win to become bowl eligible, because, again, Wyoming does sit with the 3 wins. And in order to be bowl eligible, you need to win 6. And unfortunately, again, every single game from here on out is must-win. So, which, again, as you look at it, they should beat San Jose at home. They should beat Air Force at home. Well, they should beat New Mexico, but there are pauses where San Jose State, hey, guess what? The same Spartan team that's a little bit older beat the Cowboys last year.
In San Jose.
Now traveling away from the Bay Area might be a little bit difficult for the Spartans, but as even Craig Bohl has mentioned, hey, the Spartans, that winless record that they do have does not indicate of how close this team has played to other competition in the Mountain West.
They're not bad. Hey, but here's the deal, too, though, Nick, and again, we talk about this. The offense that's in play now with Sean Chambers.
I think it fits Sean Chambers.
And hats off to Sean for the job that he's done, unfortunately. Is Tyler Vander Waal still the number 1 quarterback? I would think
no, I don't think so.
No, I would think he's still basically he's got the better arm of the 2. But here's
what's showing more positive.
What's Chambers? Chambers to me is like Colin Kaepernick coming in after no, wait a minute.
It's kind of like
he's coming in for an injured
Alex
Smith. But the thing is, he adds the dimension of the run in the backfield.
Well,
Vanderwaal's not a runner.
Yeah, and it complements the run clearly is what it's showing, where also, too, in that game, Chambers did have a rushing touchdown as well. So, again,
he runs the belly option very well.
7 and 10, 116 yards, throwing 2 TDs. Again, 1 rushing touchdown for him, where he also, too, had 107 yards rushing for himself. So, I think with Chambers, if I am Bohl, if I am that coach staff, I would list him as number 1. He has been competitive, or at least, again, you can't deny as much as we think it was kind of a fluke of that Utah State win, where it should have been a lot larger than it was. But hey, that game was still competitive. Now you shift focus here, CSU. Hey, you got the victory against the Rams on the road. Your heated rival. I think for San Jose State, I don't think there is any question on the quarterback. I don't think there should be any oars by that position. It should be Sean Chambers' position from here on out. Again, I think this offense, as it wants to be run heavy, which it clearly is,
300 yards rushing against CSU.
It complements Sean Chambers. Sean Chambers, who loves to run as well too. He's going to be, again, it's that third extra running back essentially to keep that defense on their toes. And I think you got to go with what's winning right now, or at least what's been a more positive for this team.
Here's the deal with Chambers. So you add him in there to, he's 6'3", 215. He spells Nico. I mean, between those two, they toted the ball 50 times.
Mm-hmm.
What they also got rid of was that idiotic fly sweep that they have.
Oh, they were listening.
They finally got rid of that thing. So, Ismail still carried the football. But the thing is, they won't they're going to basically be a north-south team with Chambers.
And I think that's what they need to do. There's no reason why they shouldn't. Again, where you go with that Wildcat, at least where the Wildcat has worked, you look at what Miami did, or at least when San Francisco with the Colin Kaepernick, or when Michael Vick had the ball. Yeah, you do go north and south. Again, you hit those holes. And again, that Cowboy line, at least that line, that offensive line, is creating gaps. It's creating holes. Clearly, with Nico Evans, 179 yards, he's finding open, at least spacing. Same with also Sean Chambers. Again, both of them coming up with, again, Nico 179 yards, Chambers with 107. They're finding openings. That line is open.
But also, too, the thing is with these guys, again, it takes the pressure off the passing game. You're going up against 3 defenses that are weak. San Jose, Air Force, and as well as New Mexico. New Mexico may score some points, but their defense is pretty poor.
Yeah.
So this is an ideal deal for both the Cowboys on the offensive side right now, because you could stack the box against the Cowboys. Now, that's what you have to prepare for. You got to stack the box. They only threw the ball 10 times against CSU. Didn't have to throw it that much. They were a running outfit. But it also, when you are running and running and running, it does set up a pass once in a while.
Once in a while, where, again, it's only 10 attempts for Chambers in an entire contest.
Hey, ask the Air Force. The Air Force, when they ran the flex bone back in the day.
I'm just saying, why doesn't Wyoming convert over to the flex bone then? If we're going to be so run heavy, might as well just become a flex bone, a wishbone team.
Actually, they're running the offense. This is still the pro style offense, like Seattle. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
I mean, think about how they used to run the offense.
The offense still, it does not impress me at all. I think if anything, Chambers does at least add an element to. But again, read into what it is against a CSU team. We now know CSU is just complete garbage. They are a complete, just awful outfit down there in Fort Collins. I think we can absolutely put that statement to bed right now. Is this something where go back to the Boise game, go back to Washington State? Does Sean Chambers, if you put him in and how this offense is flowing, would it be the same as what we had with Tyler Vanderwall, or would it add a extra dimension and possibly win those contests?
No,
I don't think
so.
I don't think so.
You wouldn't beat Boise State. And again,
I don't think this offense
too late against Utah State.
I don't think this offense is anywhere close, or it has that much to up in those upper echelon teams. I really don't. Sure, it looks impressive against terrible teams, but what's that to say if they do, for whatever reason, match up and get lucky and get a bowl eligibility again, where they have to win the last 3, they got to win them all,
and they can.
And there's no even guarantee that they make the postseason, because they could say, hey, this 6-6, Wyoming team, who cares? We don't want them in. They were terrible. We'll put in another team to represent in the New Mexico Bowl.
Well, they're playing teams that are very low 100s, like the Cowboys were in the high 100s with their offense. But, the thing is, too, again, you go back with Chambers. Again, Chambers has that Russell Wilson feel about him as a quarterback. He also runs the offense the similar way that Kaepernick did in San Francisco in the early days. Right now, it's new.
If anything, if Chambers reminds me of anyone, because I would even toss out an RG3. He reminds me a lot of RG3.
I'm just saying, though, but defenses haven't had a chance yet to prep for Sean Chambers.
Well, you got plenty of film on him now with 2 games, and I think with San Jose State, they know what to expect.
And will they be able to stop him? That's the question.
Who knows? San Jose State is a team that is
but nobody's been able to stop Nico Evans, so that's a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a thunder and lightning punch.
It does give you that, again, keeps those defensive players on their toes. So we'll see coming up this Saturday, as that will be.
Well, we won't see this Saturday.
Why?
Don't they have the bye this week?
No. That game's coming up this Saturday.
I thought they had the bye.
How about November 3rd? Today is October 30th, so yes, it will be this Saturday at noon against the San Jose State Spartans. They'll have a bye next week, I do believe.
Before Air Force.
Air Force comes in on the 13th, or at least later.
That's right. They have the bye so we can get into the high school.
There you go. So, yes, San Jose State, yes, will be in town. We'll be in Laramie. Coming up, again, a high noon kickoff, I do believe. They're in Laramie. So,
do we have some tickets to give away to this thing?
Yeah, we might as well. I'm not prepared for it, so you might have to vent because I have to grab the fish bowl.
No, that's fine. You go ahead and get the fish bowl of awesomeness. So, again, Cowboys and the Spartans.
A game.
Win number 3 for the Cowboys. They're still well under the Mendoza line right now. They're 3-6.
3-6. But again, a game that the Cowboys should win. They should win this contest, but we saw what happened last year when we said they should beat San Jose in San Jose. They clearly didn't. So maybe fortunes will change for the Cowboys, as at least San Jose has to come up to elevation this Saturday.
Well, so we look at the schedule right now for the Cowboys. They have 1-7 San Jose, who are 1-3 in the.
Oh, San Jose actually got a win.
So you have 1-7 San Jose. You got Air Force, that's 3-5. So you got 2 teams combined, 4-12, and New Mexico is also 3-5. 7 and correct me if I'm wrong. 7.
So teams that are kind of on, at least minus San Jose's, 2 teams that are on your same level at this point, kind of a coin flip. San Jose State, you should take care of, but again, I won't guarantee anything with this team of what we saw last year, and also to how we know of things coming up this season. There is no guarantee.
There is no margin of error for the Cowboys. It is win 3, and then keep your fingers crossed that you get a bowl bid. And again, you are going to get a really rotten bowl.
And we'll see how this pressure affects, because, again, these players are going to know about this. Again, you can't hide from this, so that they realize, hey, we got to take it one at a time, but we need to win this to have that postseason opportunity. But there's a lot of things floating around these Cowboy players' minds where we didn't even get to, and something that happened over the weekend that I just found out on Monday, at least going through all my emails, but that they're losing a defensive star as well, too, due to a little stupid act down in Fort Collins of Joanna Gaffon, where, I mean, what the hell? Why? Why would you do something like that?
Now, here's the thing, too. You got to think about this, Nick. 5 teams already in the Mountain West are bowl eligible.
Boise, Fresno, Hawaii,
San Diego State, and Hawaii. And Utah State.
Yeah.
Utah State 7-1, Boise 6-2, Fresno State 6-1, San Diego State 6-1, and Hawaii 6-3. And then the Cowboys go 6-6.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, here's also, too, your bowls that the Mountain West do represent. You have the Las Vegas Bowl, there's one. You have the Potato Bowl. You have the New Mexico Bowl. You have the Arizona Bowl, and then also, too, the Foster Farms Bowl that happens out there in Levi Stadium. Am I forgetting anything else? No, I do believe it's only
Arizona Bowl?
I already mentioned the Arizona Bowl. So, again, 5 bowls right there for the Mountain West, where I think... Is Boise going to move on to something bigger, maybe an Outback Bowl or something like that? Utah State. I don't see it. I really don't.
Also, there's a team in front of the Cowboys, Nevada, that's 4-4. So there's an opportunity that the Wolfpack picks up a 6th win before the Cowboys.
They're looking up a long ladder right now to even if they get the 6, which again you got to win out for your 6 wins to become postseason eligible. But also, too, you're looking up to a lot of competition that did a lot better than you, have probably better quality wins than the Cowboys do, that probably deserve to go a bowl game than you.
Yeah, and again, you just said it right there. If the Cowboys do win out, beat New Mexico, beat Air Force, beat San Jose State, those 3 wins get you 6 wins, but are they quality enough to make you bowl eligible?
New Mexico, no. Air Force, no. San Jose State, absolutely not. CSU, completely not. You beat an FCS Wofford team. You barely beat
them.
And then who else am I? And then New Mexico State, who is kind of terrible as well. So no real contests on those 6 wins, if they are to make it, stands out to me going, wow. That was a quality win.
So if you are,
like for instance,
if the Cowboys are 6-6, that's very mediocre.
Yeah.
The wins were very mediocre at best.
Yeah.
So, and again, you look at all of this stuff that's going on, and the Boo Birds are still out there, gang.
Oh yeah, they'll be there. Probably
they're not exceptionally happy right now with a lot of things, and I hear it all the time. Yeah. Anyway, we got to the top of the hour. I want to mention we're going to hear Vance Joseph's press conference coming up next hour, and then we got a hell of a lot of notes from the National Football League, simply for the fact today is
trade deadline
day. You have some tickets to give away. I'm going to let you go do that because you got the fishbowl of awesomeness in your hands right now.
So again, as we were giving away a pair of tickets, or at least 4 pairs of tickets this week to go see the Cowboys versus San Jose State, also 2 goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Delrange and Windmill, and also 2, we do have 1 lone parking pass to go at least park at the Summit View parking lot lot, which we will include in today's giveaway. So thank you all who did join us on the Facebook side, who entered, liked, comment, and shared, where those are the ways to enter to have a chance to win a pair of tickets this week. Again, we will be giving away at least winners today, tomorrow, and Thursday to get that all squared away. So for today's winner, for a pair of tickets, the pair of goodies, and the Summit View parking lot, which I'll do today, will be Tracy Christensen. Congratulations to Tracy Christensen. You are a winner for today. I will notify you on Facebook how to come by and pick up your prize pack to go see the Cowboys versus the Spartans coming up this Saturday. So congratulations.
Tracy,
she won it all.
I would say Tracy he or Tracy she.
She.
All right, so congratulations to Tracy, and we got more tickets to see the Spartans and the Pokes.
And I think we'll give a pair away tomorrow, and then on Thursday we'll just have fun and give 2 pairs away because we have 4 in total with only 3 days, and we won't have a show Friday, so we'll just do it like that. So again, all entries that are on the Facebook side still remain in the fishbowl. Again, as you are still eligible to win tomorrow and Thursday. Again, 3 opportunities to win a pair of tickets to go see the Cowboys versus Spartans. We also do at least tell you folks out there to not resell these tickets. They have a nice little barcode that we can monitor, and there will be repercussions if you resell them for whatever reason. Granted, I don't think anyone's really going to be buying a $40 ticket to go see the Spartans this Saturday.
Not really.
I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth $40.
That's why we're giving them away.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a timeout, come back with hour number 2 and the National Football League news in a little bit.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it being hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, let's thank some wonderful folks, Taco John's of Cheyenne, where it is Taco Tuesday today. Also the home for the 3 for $5 walking tacos, 6-pack and a pound, loaded potato lays. But today, Taco Tuesday, I say no more. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30 having their hail of a sale right now. So again, you are a big Jayco fan, and you know they are the home for Jayco products. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, their hail of a sale. Yes, still on Highway 30 here in Cheyenne. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, Ray and Cindy's place. Yes, just picturing myself right now having one of those delicious Chick-fil-A sandwiches and waffle fries. I can also have a hash brown Scrabble bowl and a hot cup of coffee every morning, Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A for 3 squares, Monday through Saturday. Corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards. Key of Cheyenne. You know, when you're kicking a few tires and taking a test drive, check out those 18s. They need to go. And right now, AJ and Greg Miller, they have those specially priced for you. The 19s are on their way. Some are already here. But again, see some sensational deals on 2018 model year closeouts over at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you, offering all of the banking services and more. Always at Platte Valley Bank. See the original location on Banda High, east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. And remember, sundry supplies inside, convenient drive-through with your doctor's prescription. Let Gina's great staff fill those prescriptions. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, where they have the main repair center for autos and trucks over on Dunn Avenue with a plethora of bays. They will take care of the auto glass and detail work for you over on Pershing Boulevard. Call and make your appointment today, 634-6608, Lennox Auto Body in Cheyenne. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where you talk with Tim and the great staff over there and get on those special CD rates right now with annual percentage yields that are going up every time we talk. First Tier Bank in Cheyenne at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Across the street, open 7 days a week. It's Mondello's Pizzeria. Joe and the great staff invite you to come on by for the most delicious pizzas around. Freshly made dough, fresh ingredients on your pie. I'll tell you what, it is so good. In addition to the pizzas, the strombolis, pepperoni rolls over there, their calzones, their sandwiches on fresh baked bread every day. Mondello's Pizzeria is the place to dine, Paisan style, Monday through Sunday. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. A little bit of winter coming back into the forecast. Make sure that heating unit is operating at full bore. Give them a call today. Let them come on by and check it out for you. And we always get our scoreboard underway with our good friends over at Pepsi of Cheyenne. It's time for the Pepsi scoreboard. Here's Nick.
LCCC in action this past weekend. We'll start with the women's soccer as they were down in Denver, Colorado at Metro State competing in the Region 9 tournament. On Friday, they did win their semifinal contest against Sheridan 3-0. Saturday, however, against Western Wyoming Community College, they did lose 1-0. So LCCC women's soccer, their season comes to an end as of Saturday. However, on the men's side of soccer things for LCCC, they did win their semifinal against Gillette College, and also won their final against Sheridan College 2-0. So congratulations to the LCCC men's soccer program. They are Region 9 champions. They will move on to the district semifinals coming up this Friday. They will take on Pima Community College down there in Tucson, Arizona. LCCC women's volleyball, they wrapped up their regular season. They finished number 1 in the north of Region 9. They will enter as the number 1 seed in the volleyball tournament coming up tomorrow here in Cheyenne over at Story Gym. Again, unfortunately can't hold it at the rack due to 2 inches, but instead they will move it over to Story Gym. So, again, Region 9 volleyball tournament happening starting up tomorrow as LCCC will play the winner of Lamar versus Casper. That game will get underway tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Cheyenne Stampede in action from the past weekend, a home-and-home series between the Northern Colorado Eagles here in town in Cheyenne. The Stampede lose to the Northern Colorado Eagles 6-1. They also, down in Greeley, lost to the Eagles 7-1. Cheyenne Stampede are 0-9-1, 10-game losing streak to start off the season. Not too pretty for the Cheyenne Stampede. We will talk more about that coming up tomorrow, 4:30, with head coach Neil Breen, and also he will be bringing in a player on the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show here on 1480 KRAE. NHL action for tonight. Calgary Flames in Buffalo taking on the Sabres. Pittsburgh Penguins at PPG Paints Arena hosting the New York Islanders. Carolina Hurricanes at PNC Arena taking on the Boston Bruins. The Red Wings of Detroit in Columbus taking on the Blue Jackets at Nationwide Arena. Montreal Canadiens hosting the Dallas Stars. New Jersey Devils in Tampa taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Also, too, you will see the Vegas Golden Knights in Nashville taking on the Preds at Bridgestone Arena. That game will get underway at 6 o'clock, and it is a nationally televised game on NBC Sports Network. Minnesota Wild in Edmonton taking on the Oilers. Arizona Coyotes hosting the Ottawa Sens. The Philadelphia Flyers in the pond at Lee's Honda Center taking on the Anaheim Ducks, and San Jose Sharks at home at SAP Center in San Jose hosting the New York Rangers. That's what's happening. NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA scoreboard, neither the Nuggets or the Warriors in action after Clay drained 52 last night. 14 threes, and the Warriors win against the Bulls. On the schedule for this evening, Heat will take on the Hornets in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. It will be the Hawks and the Cavaliers of the Quicken Loans Arena as Cleveland still looking for their first win of the season.
Doubt they'll get it.
Huh?
Doubt they'll get it.
All right. Kings and the Magic in the Amway Center. Pistons and the Celtics in the TD Garden. Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. We'll have the, looks like, the Raptors.
There you
go. Who are 5-0 at home, by the way, hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. It will be the Trailblazers in Houston to face the Rockets. Rockets 1-4 to kick off the season. Wizards over in the FedEx Forum in Memphis to take on the Grizz. And it will be the Thunder at Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City hosting the Los Angeles Clippers. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Nuggets last night beating the Pelicans, which I think is a very significant win, beating a very good ball club at the Can. That's 2 now with the Warriors, so they're 4-0 in the Pepsi Center, 5-1 overall. The Golden State Warriors, we wanted to talk about that because Nick, when he was on his trip, he had a chance to go see Golden State at the Oracle Arena. Last night, the Warriors.
Oh, go ahead.
Last night, the Warriors improved to 7-1. 4-1 away from Oracle, so the only loss was to the Denver Nuggets. Last night, Klay Thompson, he went nuts. And again, this is a
52 points with at least
14 threes.
Setting an NBA record that his teammate Stephen Curry set a few seasons ago, but yes, breaking that three-pointers made in a game record. Again, read into that how much you will, but again, a 52-point impressive, at least, performance by Klay Thompson. The headband for Klay Thompson being utilized in that game last night. Maybe the little magic that Klay needed as he's been struggling throughout this beginning of the season. So hopefully Klay will continue this momentum for the rest of this season.
Of course, on the highlights last night, it looked like Klay made 14 in a row. He was actually 14 of 24. That's not too bad.
No.
Sharp shooting from the outside. That's about 58% from the line of three. But also, too, again, this is a very important year for Klay. And I said one of the distractions that he's going to have is going to be the monies.
And again, he's already mentioned, he's already come out and said that right now he is committed to the Warriors. He wants to get his money, but he also too wants to remain as a Golden State Warrior. So I'm not too worried about it. But yes, again, as he's had a little bit off years of the past couple seasons, an off year is, at least for Klay Thompson, is probably in a good year for most kind of average players. But he did have a rough start to this season, now kind of clicking. We'll see if this carries on, but maybe, I don't know how much he's focused on that it is a contract year for him.
Well, the guys that are off right now.
Again, he's out there having fun.
I know the guys that are off right now are Iguodala. He's having an off scoring in the early part. Durant is not knocking him dead.
Back and forth.
And Draymond Green. Now, I will give Draymond Green this. He is the most unselfish basketball player. You could call him the loudmouth, whatever you want to call the guy, but I'll tell you what, 11 assists last night. He sacrificed many underneath hoops to get him in close, and matter of fact, he just dropped in 3 points, but he's still off on the point production.
This is a Golden State team that's also -1 Boogie Cousins, so again, until DeMarcus gets out there on the floor, this team has yet to show its full strength as well, too, of what it can do, especially when you add that big man on the inside, a little bulk and a little bit power. This team is going to be very frightening. But, yes, going back to Wednesday, where that was my first day out, and at least night in San Jose, we moved on up, a group of us, up to Oakland to go see the Warriors take on the Wizards. First off, I want to say, first game at Oracle. I'm glad that the Warriors are moving out of that place. That is, the Coliseum in Oracle is a complete dump. And I get why the Raiders got out of there. I get why the Warriors.
Part of my English, it's a piss hole.
It's awful.
It's a sewer.
It's awful of just where the Warriors and A's and Raiders currently play. Why you would want to go see a game? Those facilities are so run down, so old, so terribly maintained that you just kind of feel bad for those teams. But hey, with the Warriors, they're going to be moving soon across the bay to San Fran to the Chase Center. A's looking to get out of the Coliseum, and obviously the Raiders moving out to Las Vegas. But God, those facilities are just absolutely terrible. But
and inside it looks absolutely beautiful. For the TV audience.
Oh yeah,
it looks great.
It looks great, but again, in person though, it is a concrete just mess inside of Oracle. But it still had a special feeling for me, at least in the first game there, of just saying, hey, here's the home ground. No longer have to watch this team on the road. But main takeaway though, Steph in that contest against the Wizards, 51 points. He went off and just had a complete he was just having fun for the 3 quarters that he played. Again, he only scored 51 points in 3 quarters until Steve Kerr sat him down for the 4th. So that 51 was in 3 total quarters. What I take away and what I've been taking away from this NBA season so far, to give my thoughts on it, I don't think any team's out there really playing or at least playing defense. This has just been from that Wizards game. And again, I think it was 144 to 126 was the final. It wasn't anything close, but it was a very oddball, very high-scoring game. But the feeling, the atmosphere from Oracle, and it was a great atmosphere there. It always is there from those Oakland fans. But it had a feeling like you were watching an NBA All-Star game, where it just seemed like the players didn't really – they were out there doing trick shots and slam dunks and just having all sorts of fun, which is good. It translates to the fans, but it felt like we're watching a new style of basketball, a new era of NBA where defense doesn't matter. It's more so of let's put on an NBA All-Star game.
Yeah, we'll score more than you every game.
Because defense was just non-existent in that contest, and it feels like it's been like that in this entire beginning, at least few contests across the NBA, where we saw Lakers putting up 140 or 130 as well.
The Warriors did it again last night against the Bulls.
Yeah, it's a very odd era that we're in right now, where it doesn't seem like any team really cares about defense. It is more so of how much more lucky can you get of hitting threes? How much more lucky can you get of sinking those twos? Where all right, we'll put those points on the board.
And
it's just it's a very odd year.
Yeah, and I got to be real honest with you. When I moved out here in '83, watching Doug Mose, old Denver Nuggets, I used to love those kind of games, 129 to 126.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I like it, but it's just a very weird and unique era that we're in right now, at least this beginning of the season, where defense, the theme of it is defense does not exist.
They try, I'm not saying it's awful, to play defense, but again, the Warriors are such a run-and-gun team. You know, so they're going to go down there, they're going to launch a 3, it's going to miss, and then the other team's going to come down and you crank it right back up, you know.
And maybe there's method to the madness of all this where, again, hey, we'll get it down quickly, get our points, we'll take our chances that you're going to miss, we'll run it back down. Again, if you score, hey, that's on us, we'll try and answer right back or get a 3 and give that point advantage. It's just kind of weird strategy and just interesting ball play that we're experiencing right now with the NBA. It's something that has been very unique this season.
And I liked how you mentioned it, because, again, it's now called the Oracle Arena in 2018. For me, back in '75, when I watched the Warriors win their championship, we're going to watch them play during their championship year, and then going out and watching the California Golden Seals.
Which, ironically, they did as they were doing the 1975 championship ring giveaway and theme night, where they were wearing the throwback jerseys. Representatives from that '75 team were there on the court last night, or at least on Wednesday.
One Rick Barry.
Yes, he was.
That's all I need to hear. But the thing is, you look back then when I was there, so we're talking 40 years ago, and
where that place was fresh and new,
and the concept of the Coliseum Arena was made after the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah,
where you said the concrete and all that.
It is it is a concrete.
And the seating, and I remember watching basketball as well as the California Golden Seals when Charlie Finley bought them. You sat in the nice leather comfy seats there. I mean, it was almost like every seat in the house was a great place to go sit.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue.
It was a nice place to go and watch a game. Now it's in the worst part of the city. It's a garbage dump.
Yeah, it's an awful place right now. Again, Oakland.
You want to get in there, get the hell out, and go home.
Yeah, especially with my buddies that we were tagging along with. It was barbed wire fencing across everything, and very heavy police presence, where it's like, I don't know if we want to venture too far away from this arena right now, especially in the darkness that is here South Oakland. But understand why these teams, you need to see it. You need to be there to believe why these teams want out of this area so badly, where, again, Warriors getting a brand new facility over in San Francisco, Raiders moving out of that town completely, and the A's right now desperately pleading with at least the city of saying, we'll buy you out, and we're going to build a stadium where we want to.
We're going to tear this puppy down. Real quick, across the bay, before we get into football, because there is a lot of football news to get to. Mad Bum, and I know you were concerned when we got done, because we'll wrap up baseball season. Mad Bum's contract option for 2019 has been exercised by the Giants, and they also exercised third baseman Pablo Sandoval's option. Think about this.
Not bad.
What, about 6 years ago, Pablo Sandoval signed that big deal with the Boston Red Sox? 5 years ago? After the 2014 season.
Yeah, so
it was like $95 million, and it was a 6-year deal. Well, guess what?
They're probably still paying on it.
Yeah, but you know how much he's making with the Giants? The minimum, $555,000.
Oh, yeah, I would doubt.
So anyway,
why wouldn't you re-sign him for that player option? Absolutely. Again,
I don't know.
You're getting him on the cheap.
I don't know what's guaranteed though from Boston.
And again, Pablo was not bad this season. He filled in the gaps where again when Longoria. Well, again, he was there when Longoria was down, but still a good ball player. Is he starting material at third base? Probably not, and probably won't be for a long time. Depending on what they do as well too. Do the Giants keep on Evan Longoria, or do they go after other pieces for that third base? Who knows at this point? Longoria, I don't sell short. I think he still has talent in him, but he just ran into that injury bug this season.
Right. Well, Sandoval was recovering from a right hamstring surgery. That's what kept him out for the rest of the year. But you are right. He is getting paid still by the Red Sox $18 million next season, and then tack on $500,000 for the Giants. Also, the Giants reinstated from the 60-day disabled list.
One Buster Posey.
Right-handers Jeff Schmarzda, who I think will be gone.
Maybe.
Johnny Cueto, who I think they may retain.
Possibly.
And Julian Fernandez. So that's news from the Giants. Speaking of baseball, the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, that series wrapped up as well. Thankfully, well, again, either way, whoever won was just an awful outcome, but at least it wasn't the Dodgers, as they lose 2 straight World Series. They still have to lament back in what? How long has it been since they won
88. They beat the A's.
Yeah, so keep on waiting there, Dodger fans, as it's going to be another one.
You know, and again, too, Dave Roberts, who has done just short of a great managing job.
Oh, yeah, there's no and Dodgers are going to reciprocate that as well, too, as there's rumors right now saying that that they're going to look and extend his contract with the Dodgers for Dave Roberts, again, of the efforts of what he's doing. Again, you can't sell short two straight World Series appearances, but not win.
But I think in the case, though, again, from the old Bruce Bochy school of managing, I think he overmanages sometimes. And again, you know, I look at the Red Sox.
Again, the overmanaging worked for Bruce Bochy. It got him 3 titles.
Yeah, but Alex Cora seemed to play his cards a lot better than Dave Roberts did.
This Dodgers team, and again, the management will stay there. Again, at least those coaches will retain. You might lose a few to take other head coaching positions, as there's still vacancies across MLB, but the Dodgers right now, it seems like the entirety of the West, minus the San Diego Padres, it's interesting to see how these teams shape up in the offseason. The Dodgers are one team to absolutely keep an eye on of, do they retain a Clayton Kershaw? They do have that option. Manny Machado, will he join the Phillies? Will he join any other team, or will he stay? What do you do with Yasiel Puig? I don't think he should remain a Dodger.
Is Clayton Kershaw back next year?
Well, I already said that.
But but the question is he exercising that option?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, will Clayton Kershaw retain as a Dodger? I think he would. But again, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks for the Dodgers team. Will we see? Is it going to be a complete shakeup of the Dodgers? Will they retain a few key pieces? Or what's going to happen?
Well, we already know there's a retirement coming up too. The former Philly, now second baseman.
Utley?
Yeah, he's going
to Utley, absolutely. But I mean, here's another NL West team that's going to probably get a couple shakeups here in the offseason around winter meetings, along with the Rockies. Rockies with their pieces.
They don't rebuild, Nick. They reload.
But will they, though?
I think they will. I think the Dodgers got enough money to reload.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. They are the Yankees of the West, absolutely.
And you're going to go there, and you want to go, and at least you know you're going to be
But I'm just saying, are they going to shake up pieces where it doesn't work for them? Like, for instance, what the Yankees had to struggle with, again, those years where they've been awful and then got back into notoriety here of the recent seasons. But is it going to be a complete shakeup of the Dodgers move away from that NL West division title? Is it something that other teams kind of take advantage? Who knows? Again, the NL West, I think, is the most intriguing division of baseball this offseason to watch out. Again, the Rockies have a lot of questions, Diamondbacks have a lot of questions, and the Giants have a lot of questions.
Here's your odds ready for 2019. The 2 teams to watch out: to
Boston
and Houston.
Yeah.
Both are still the 6-1 odds favorites. The Yankees and the Dodgers at 7-1. Rockies, oh by the way, are 30-1 shot, And if you are a fan like me of the Giants, do you want to go drop a 5 spot down and go for the Giants? They're 100-1 favorites.
It's tempting. In 2014 they were 20-1 odds, so not as bad as the Rockies, but it still pays out pretty good.
101.
Who knows? I mean, again, the Giants are right now. They're showing that they're going to be an aggressive team come this offseason, like they were last year.
Well, we'll see.
But they're saying we realize that none of these pieces are worth retaining, or at least we're going to dump a few bad apples.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
And they might be aggressive they might retool like the Dodgers can.
And by the way, because
the Giants as well too, they are not afraid to spend money.
The latest ratings came in on the series, and one of the lowest rated series between the Red Sox and the Dodgers. But think about it. You got market number 2 in Los Angeles, and I do believe Boston's like in the top 10.
It's not too, again.
But the point is, though, these are 2 franchises,
historic franchises,
that you really don't like.
No, well, that's why I'm just saying it was probably one of the worst, at least for myself and probably fans here in the Rocky Mountain region. With, again, if you are affiliates with the Rockies, this series probably was not worth watching because, again, Boston, the team that swept the Rockies 4-0 in the only World Series of
But you hate the Dodgers.
And also, you hate the Dodgers of being that NOS, again, that team that took that NOS title from the Rockies, that has been on top of the NOS. I'm just saying, there's that chunk of fans.
And then you go over to
the Bay Area is not going to watch it.
You have to go over to the American League, and it's either the Yankees or the Red Sox that you don't like. And they're
so basically you probably eliminate the Colorado, at least Rocky Mountain region. The Bay Area is not watching.
The Midwest.
The New York area is not watching this, and then you might have probably your southern states, maybe top of the north of like Michigan and something like that. But other than that, though, it does not surprise me that no one watches.
It was a very lowly rated series. All right. We're going to come back and talk football. A lot of trades going on. Matter of fact, even out of the Denver Broncos.
Should we go to Vance Joseph first, since he
preludes
to a trade?
Let's talk. Let's have Vance Joseph tell us some stuff in his press conference. We will
press conference from yesterday. So again, this is as of yesterday, as he mentioned Demaryius Thomas's name. So just be aware of that. This is from yesterday afternoon.
And we will listen to those comments after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
Let First Education Federal Credit Union help make buying your next car a breeze. At First Education, you get competitive rates and deal with friendly local folks. Be in control by getting pre-approved and know what you have to spend before going to the dealer. Call 432-7400, go to firstedfcu.com, or visit us in person at 120 West Carlson Street with approved credit, membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Hello, Wyoming. Mark and Jenny Gordon here.
Our kids are grown now, but I still remember getting them on the bus.
Good schools are critical to Wyoming's future, and the governor's job is to help improve them. I was on the school board for years, and Jenny's still heavily involved in ag education.
We understand the issues firsthand, and we share your commitment to do right by our kids.
Are there challenges? Always. But we all want the same thing, and working together we can get there.
Paid for by Friends of Mark Gordon.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers with highs around 42. For tonight, it'll be cloudy with more snow showers likely with lows around 24. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with highs around 45. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
An update from the game, guys, as far as injuries. We had 2 guys that did not return. Brandon Marshall with a sore knee. He is still sore, but he should be fine. We'll see. And McKenzie with a hip injury. He's okay also. Questions?
Demarius here?
I'm sorry? Right now he is, yes.
You know, obviously he may or may not get traded tomorrow. How does that, affect mood in the locker room, him, you?
It has not, honestly, Mike. You know, I've talked to DT probably 5 times about this subject, and he's been a great pro. You know, he's continued to work and to be a good teammate, and he's trying to help us win on Sundays. You know, so he's been focused. Obviously, you know, being a veteran player, he gets the business side, but he's been great.
So you talked to him. Have you talked to him about the possibility, or do you know something?
Well, just the business side, you know, and the talk and the rumors. You know, I mean, he can't walk through his day without hearing from me. You know, that's not right. So we've talked about it openly about, you know, he's a good player. People want good players on their team, so everyone's gonna want to call about, you know, 4 or 5 of our guys. You know, so I'm not surprised teams are calling, but it's no guarantee he's going to get moved. But he gets the business side. You know, we've communicated clearly for the last week, and he's been a great pro for us.
John communicated any of those things with you? Trade possibilities?
He has not, you know, and obviously that's John's department. I'm sure he's getting calls, and he's probably making some calls, but he has not. It's my job to coach the team, guys, and coach the players, so that's my focus.
Are you hopeful you're not sellers in this? Would you like to?
I'm not hopeful about anything, to be honest. Again, my focus is Wednesday's practice, you know, Tuesday's game plan, really. Tuesday's game plan, Wednesday's practice, and the Texans on Sunday. That's what I'm hopeful about.
Have you made it clear to DT that he could be traded, though, that definitely is a possibility?
He understands that. Every player does.
This is a team that's always been a buyer at the trade deadline,
Right.
a possible buyer. Does it bother you that we're talking here about, 4 or 5-year players being on the market?
It does not bother me, again, guys. You know, whatever we're doing here in the front office is to make us better. You know, we want to win now and win in the future, obviously. So whatever John's going to do, you know, between now and tomorrow at 2 o'clock is to make us better. You know, so I'm on board. But again, my focus is the team. Okay, that's John's focus. That's John's job. My focus is the team meetings, the game plans, the practices. That's where I'm focusing.
Yesterday, we're better than 3-5
Right.
our record. Do you agree with this?
No, you know, you are who you are. You know, in the first quarter of the season, we're 3-5. We've won 3 games and we've lost 5. And I told our guys about 5 minutes ago, yeah, we're 3-5, but I can take 15 to 20 plays, you know, in those 5 losses that are critical plays that we did make. Okay, and that's the reason we're 3-5. But we are 3-5. We're not better than that right now. Now we're hoping to be better in the second half of the season, third and fourth quarter. But right now we are 3-5.
What's the biggest thing that you're focused on in the second half of the season that needs to change in order to change that record?
I think we have to own our jobs better. You know, again, you know, watching our 5 losses, guys are playing hard. Guys want to win. Are we making plays? Absolutely. But we are making critical errors, you know, in the critical times of the games, you know, the penalties. You know, in every big game that we've played, the penalties have killed us, especially offensive holdings. You know, we lost 10 points against the Rams just strictly on penalties. Okay, and yesterday we lost 3 20-plus yard plays because of penalties. So that's us. You know, we have to fix that. You know, we can't complain about the officials and the half and half calls. Everyone has half and half calls, but we have to play cleaner. And we hadn't done it in the 5 losses, you know. So again, you know, we have to play better football, especially in the critical moments, 3rd downs, both sides of the ball, high red zone. You know, like offensively, it's been not very good. 3rd down's been not very good, you know. So we have to fix those things.
Clean that up with Garrett, where that's been a trend for 2 years now, his inability just to not. He gets called a lot. I mean, the numbers say that. Is there something you can do with him, or do you sit him down at some point?
It's all technique. It's all technique. He has to play better technique. You know, as guys get healthy, we have some options. You know, to give him a rest from time to time. That's definitely an option. But sometimes you don't have any options. You know, but you know, as we get healthier, we have that option. But he's got to play better technique. Again, not just Garrett, but a lot of us. You know, we got some DPIs yesterday that were calls that we shouldn't get. Okay, we've got him covered. That was a 2nd and 19 penalty that hurt us. So that's my point. You know, we have to play better football in critical moments, and we can't bail teams out by having penalties. We're not good enough for that.
Case admitted that he's been drifting out of the pocket a little bit and deep. Have you seen that? Has that been, you know, kind of getting in the edge rusher's path?
Yeah. It's a couple of times where he was a little deep in his drops, which obviously for an edge rusher, that kind of, you know, adds to the issues, you know. But he has to control his depth. He's got to push up in the pocket and avoid the edge rushers and let the ball go. Okay, and it's times where he has to understand on first and 10, it's okay to be 2nd and 10, okay, and not turn the ball over. You know, obviously when he's getting rushed and the pocket's getting squeezed, to take care of the football. So he gets it also. I mean, he's kind of like our football team in critical moments. He's got to play better. That's the quarterback's job. 3rd downs, that goes through the quarterback. Okay, the reads, the movement in the pocket, making off-schedule plays, that goes through him, and he understands that. So, you know, our team in case is very similar. You know, we play good enough football to win, and then we got these 5 critical plays a game that we don't play well, and we end up losing, you know, to good teams. So he understands he got to get better in those areas.
What you're talking about is being called a lack of discipline. So where does that emanate from? How do you fix it as the head coach?
A lack of discipline when, again, I've explained this 2 weeks ago about penalties, right? It's 2 kinds, right? It's a penalty that Wolfie got called for that we don't want, the pushing and shoving, right? That was talked about before the game. You know, having great poise when you're on the road, it's a hostile environment, it's a divisional rivalry, so we don't want that. But the holding calls, that's more technique. Now you can say discipline with technique, that's fair, but not as a football team that we're out of control discipline. So I think it's different. I think guys playing with great technique, right, and not having penalties, that's what we want, right? You know, if a guy's cheating, that means he's not playing with great technique. So I don't think the 2 are comparable. It's different in my mind. Yes.
Follow up on Bohl's. It seems like when he gets a penalty, maybe another one comes and then a sack. How surprising is it maybe that he allows things to...
It's not surprising for a young player. I mean, he has to get over that, right? You can't let one bad play lead to 2 or 3, and we have to help him with that, and we're trying to help him with that. But, again, playing cleaner technique, understanding who you're playing against. Obviously, D Ford's a speed rusher, and you can't grab the guy in case getting rid of the ball. So it's not always the tackle when it comes to sacks. It's timing, it's receivers' routes, it's who's getting jammed the line of scrimmage too long. All those things, you know, count for sacks. So not just him getting beat all the time.
Coach, with 2:22 left, you had it 1st and 10 on the Chiefs' 20.
Yeah.
You had a timeout, a 2-minute warning. Was there any thought to just, hey, let's kick the field goal now? It's going to give us some more time.
I'll tell you the plan. The plan there was, you know, we had about 2 minutes before the 2-minute warning, I'm thinking. So the plan was to get points before 2-minute warning. Okay, so we got a 1st down. So we had one more down, in my opinion, to throw a shot on 3rd down after the warning to see if we can get the touchdown. If not, take the field goal, obviously, because it's no guarantee you're going to be at the 10-yard line again, right? A field goal, we can kick from the 35. So getting an onside kick was a must anyway. So if you get it there with no timeouts, you can run it or throw it and spike the ball and have a long field goal to have a chance to win the football game. So that was my thought. I'm sorry?
Did you get the playoff that you wanted to get off in that situation then?
I thought we did. You know, it was obviously throw it to the end zone, take a shot there, and then take the field goal, and then have some time to kick the onside kick. You know, obviously, you know, win that down, and then have some time to kick a long field goals. But you know, my thought process, when you're that close, at least take one more chance to score a touchdown there. If it costs you 15 seconds, it does. But I kick a long field goal. A long touchdown would have been tough against that defense.
Vance, how much of
the outcome had to do with the fact that they started 7 drives outside their 35-yard line, and you only started 2 drives outside your 35-yard line?
Well, I think obviously, you know, we had the one punt that was a shank punt. You know, he heard a whistle somewhere, but he's got to follow through with the kick. You know, so that's no excuse there. But that drive obviously killed us. You know, that game's kind of in control still. You know, we got a chance to make some hay there, and that short field killed us. You know, obviously some of the long 3rd downs and the second punt hurt us also. Our return game was very average yesterday as far as kickoff returns, and once they figured out they can pin us deep, they put it in the grass and made us bring it out. So they pinned us deep a lot of times. So absolutely the swing of the field was in their favor yesterday, especially with the bad punt.
A few more for the coach. Did you hear a whistle? Did you figure out the whistle?
I did not, but the players heard whistles, and again, come on, whatever. Kick the ball.
Case, a week 8, midway through the season.
I'm sorry, say again.
Midway through the season, is Case playing to the level you expected or showing what you expected he would show at this point in the season, just in terms of?
I would say this, Nikki, in that question. I think we're all 3-5. Okay, he's a 3-5 quarterback right now. I'm a 3-5 coach. We're a 3-5 football team. So, can I coach better? Yes. Can he play better? Yes. Can his teammates play better? Absolutely. Right. So we're all 3-5. So to judge one player on how he's playing, and he knows how he's playing. He can play better. I can coach better. We can play better. And hopefully we can get this thing turned next 2 quarters.
Last one, Ryan.
Bohl from Paco after the game said that you should have been called for a legal man downfield a couple of times. What did the video show?
It's the league we're in. It's the RPOs. It's run pass options. Those guys blocking up front don't know the ball's being thrown. They're blocking zone. So absolutely, it's an issue. And we have to fix this issue in this league, unless it's going to be college football. It's tough for the linebackers to play both. And you see it on tape. Ty Davis is having hell trying to fit his gap and chase the guy in the flat. Okay, so when you see Kelsey in the flat over there with no one around him, he's playing his run gap because the guard and center is 4 yards, 5 yards down the field. So if I'm Ty Davis and I'm playing run, and I see the lineman climbing, I'm going to play what? I'm going to play run and not play Kelsey in the flat way over there. So that's the issue. It's a league-wide issue and a Chiefs issue. Everyone's running these plays, so we have to figure out a way to officiate this better to help the game.
Thank you very much. Could you talk to the
competition committee about that? Yeah,
we could, and we have in the past, but it's going to take a lot more than just words. It's going to take some personnel changes, in my opinion, to officiate this game better so we can have it to come back a little bit back to the defense. A little bit. Just a little bit.
RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 US Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
The 2018 Kia Stinger can be your dream vehicle come to life. I'm AJ Miller, and we have the impressive 2018 Kia Stinger here at Kia of Cheyenne. The Kia Stinger comes with choice of 2 turbocharged engines, giving the Stinger strong performance at a budget-friendly price. This car is tough to beat with numerous standard features and comparably priced lower than other vehicles in its class. You need to come to Kia of Cheyenne and drive the Stinger today. Call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
First Tier Bank's drives remain competitive and offer some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Did you know High West Energy has been serving residents of Laramie County for 75 years? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op proudly serving 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We're owned by our customers who share in the profits and have a voice in ensuring that we maintain high standards while keeping electricity costs low. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years. HighWestEnergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers with highs around 42. For tonight, it'll be cloudy with more snow showers likely with lows around 24. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with highs around 45. And on Wednesday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 29.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. The Broncos did trade Demaryius Thomas. There's a bunch of trades to talk about. We may not get to all of them.
That's why I had to at least speak on behalf of that press conference, or at least kind of set it up as, yes, this was yesterday. So, again, Vance Joseph having to answer questions yesterday before the trade of, again, as all thoughts and what kind of became true today of DT eventually moving on for the Broncos. I think for the Broncos, a smart move. I think DT kind of, at least talent-wise, kind of taking a dip, taking a downward spot.
He helped
is
himself
that
this
something
year.
more so with Case Keenum being around him? I don't know. But again, DT has not been the same.
Well,
as what he
he's
was in
helped
years.
himself this year because sometimes I've seen better hands on a clock.
Yeah.
And I'm not all busted up by this trade. Not at all. So the Broncos get a 4th-round draft pick. You're going, what? Well, they also gave up
Cooper for the Raiders gets a 1st round, but yeah, DT gets a 4th round.
Yeah, that kind of tells you that his stock is way down.
Yeah.
The Texans got to pick up. Oh, by the way, Houston Texans got DT $17.5 million in salary money they got to pick up next year. And the way this trade goes to the Broncos and the Texans, if the Broncos finish higher, or is it if they finish lower than the Texans, they'll get the 7th-round draft pick. They'll switch 7th-round draft picks. So, yeah, the Broncos got basically bupkis and just unloaded salary cap money for Demaryius Thomas. That kind of tells you, yes, his career is not what it once was. And also, too, the emergence of the rookie, Cortland Sutton, made it easy for John Elway to pull this deal off.
But people are not too happy about this, or at least from what my understanding is that.
What's to be disappointed about?
That you don't have a whole lot of, at least, of guarantee with Sutton. At least Sutton, you don't know what to expect out of him so far, and
you got a team that is not good.
Oh yeah, again, I don't know what
Emmanuel Sanders.
People
have
been already calling for John Elway's head down there, at least a few. But now this kind of
you should have heard them Sunday night how they were on Vance Joseph's case.
Let's be honest. You think they were going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? No.
But no way. Mean, they were like, "Hey, it's time. Make a move."
Well, and
now.
again, that's something that is carried over, at least from last season, of when is Vance Joseph going to leave? Again, a guy who in every press conference that we had last season was, "Hey, this is on me. This is on him." It is something that is carried over, where in the offseason we were surprised that John Elway retained him, said, hey, he's going to continue on with his ball club.
Look at
yes,
Cleveland.
I think he's on the hot seat right now. I think it's pretty toasty right now for Vance Joseph, and I think that time is coming here soon. If they are to lose, and not without seeing, I do believe they're on the bye week, if I'm not mistaken. But again, if they are to lose coming up, is it time?
Here
Yeah.
real quick. You want to see?
Is it time for the 49ers coming up?
Let's see. The Niners got the Raiders this week.
They got Thursday night, but I'm just saying next week, because I do believe Broncos have the bye week this week, and then next week are they in?
They draw the Texans on the 4th.
Ooh.
Then they have the bye week after that.
Ah.
And then they'll have the Chargers on the 18th, Steelers on the 25th, Bungles on the 2nd. They get the Niners on the 9th. That's when they should win.
Here's the real test. Then, yeah, they should beat the 49ers. That team's just terrible. But if you are to lose to the Houston Texans right before that bye week, I think that's got to be the time John Elway pulls the plug and says, this is not working. This experiment has blown up in my face of the pieces that I thought was going to turn around this Broncos team has not done it so far. I think if the Broncos, and they could lose to the Houston Texans, I think the Texans are a lot better team than the Broncos, and again, in my opinion, and now adding Demaryius Thomas, I think Demaryius Thomas as well, too, is going to have a little chip on his shoulder going, oh, hey, Broncos, you didn't want me? Watch me as I put on probably a monster performance. We've seen players who do that where, again, they get traded away from those teams and go, oh, you didn't want me. All right, I'll put up a few touchdowns and receive for about 120 yards or something. But I foresee, and I would say that the Houston Texans could beat the Broncos coming up. That's where I think John Elway, and again, as I just said, has to pull the plug. Has to just say, Vance Joseph, this is not working. Bye-bye. And again, the bye week, that gives you all that time, gives you all that free time to say, all right, you take the position. Happen. You have this amount of time now to get your offense in, or at least introduce yourself and work with the team.
Elway I think that would pull the plug. Elway's afraid of his own shadow right now.
I'm just saying, if I was in his shoes, that would be the smartest thing.
I understand that, but right now, Elway right now is looking over his back because he's not sure if he's going to have a job.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he should.
And I'm telling you right now, things are not looking too promising down there for the next few weeks. The Detroit Lions, I got to move on. They also made it. This one surprised me.
Not really.
Got rid of Golden Tate.
The Lions haven't done anything.
I understand that, and the Eagles I think the Eagles made a steal. They get Tate, and I think it would have cost them what? Let me look here. What is a third round pick? That's all they gave up. Yeah. Tate. This is what I like about Golden Tate. He is one of the best yards after catch receivers in the league.
And it was like that even at Notre Dame.
Yeah, but
he's been a consistent player like that.
Are you kidding me?
I think it's good for him to get out of at least Detroit away from the Lions. That just awful franchise. And, yeah, start anew with the Philadelphia Eagles, as much as the Eagles are not doing squat this season as well. But it absolutely benefits. It's just another target there for Carson Wentz in Philadelphia, and absolutely. That is a great deal, at least for the Eagles.
The Rams got a little bit better. They acquired defensive end Dante Fowler Jr. from the Jags today for a third-round draft pick in 2019 and a fifth-round selection in 2020. Oh, by the way, he'll become an unrestricted free agent after this season. But the thing is, it's like the Dodgers. You get, or Major League Baseball, you get this hired help for the stretch run, and the Rams.
Well, talk about a compliment though, where again you already have Ndamukong Suh and a very stout defensive line. Add him now to the ranks. Yeah, that defense that was already good for the Rams just got even that much better. And again, the Rams are the top. They are the best team in the league. There's no doubt about it. And again, they just added another piece to make them that much overall just good. You might as well just hand the Super Bowl. You might as well hand the championship to the Rams.
The Baltimore Ravens made a low-risk move to help the NFL's number 24 rushing attack, trading a draft pick to the Green Bay Packers for running back Ty Montgomery.
Yeah.
Packers will receive a 2020 7th-round draft pick in return. The trade comes a couple of days after Montgomery made a special teams error, running a fourth-quarter kickoff out of the end zone and making a costly fumble in the 29-27 loss to the Rams.
Does that help the Ravens? Who knows? Who cares? It really doesn't do anything on my trade radar. It's like whatever.
What else do we have here? We've got the Packers also have traded free safety Clinton Dix to the Redskins for 2019 4th-round draft picks.
I do believe, isn't that a reunion for Dix on that one? Again, hasn't he played for the Redskins?
No. It doesn't say.
Yeah,
I think he's been his entire career. Well, anyway, he's hasta la vista. I was watching the Bills game last night, and
oh boy!
Well, no, I was watching that. The good news was I fell asleep late in the fourth quarter, or early in the fourth quarter. Derek Anderson, who's the third quarterback, He is recovering from a concussion, so the Bills are expected now to start Nathan Peterman at quarterback against the Chicago Bears. McDermott ruled out rookie quarterback Josh Allen for Sunday's game, meaning he'll miss his third consecutive contest after spraining his right elbow in the October 14th loss to the Houston Texans.
Speaking of the Bears, have you noticed that team leads the NFC North? The Chicago Bears are the best team out of the Vikings and the Packers. The Bears lead the NFC North.
Well, they got the weakest of the schedule, too.
Yeah,
McDermott said...
But they're taking advantage of it. And again, I also, too, give credit to Trubisky. He was definitely a steal for the Bears, and they have a good egg with him. But, again, the Bears right now lead the NFC North. Will they continue it? I don't think so.
Well, anyway, I was hoping that Josh Allen was going to be that last-second call last night.
Keep Josh Allen out.
McDermott says Allen remains week to week, is making good progress in his recovery, but has yet to resume throwing.
Why put Josh Allen out there where, again, you just saw Anderson down with a concussion? Josh Allen just got done dealing with concussions and injuries right now. Why send him out there to the Wolves? Again, this Bills team is not going to do anything. Why let him get his brains beat out here just because you have no one else? Sacrifice everyone else. Josh Allen is the guy you went number 7 overall in last year's draft. You're looking to make him as your franchise quarterback. Why send him out to the Wolves when he's going to get injured, as you're seeing with everyone else is getting injured on your team?
Right.
I'm just saying, why even risk it? Yeah, put Peterman out as your number 1 guy. He should be. Because Josh Allen, you got to treat him as a fragile piece of expensive equipment. Going, this is our franchise quarterback, possibly. Why send him out now and run those risks? Why run a risk of what the 49ers already have experienced with Jimmy G? You have this precious cargo. He's now out for an entire season. Why run that risk with Josh Allen?
Well, I probably won't see...
Especially on this season that is already a throwaway.
You might see Allen back in the second half of the season. I guess that's about where we're...
I would think it would be smart just not to play him again.
Well, they're running out of quarterbacks.
Again, he's
running out of quarterbacks.
I'm just saying, he's already been injured a few times this season.
And
what says the next one doesn't cost him a little bit longer than what he's already experienced?
All right, also, I want to wrap up here because we've got to move on. Hugh Jackson... out at Cleveland, along with Todd Haley, his offensive coordinator. It sounded like there was a rift between those two, so Cleveland said, you know what? Hey, both of you guys, hasta la vista.
Well, the years that Hugh Jackson was
You can't, wait a minute, you can't blame Hugh Jackson for the players that Cleveland
I'm just
brought
saying,
in.
the guy only won, 4 games in however many seasons?
Yeah, but look, they've already doubled that this year. But look at the quality of players they brought in. They brought in a lot of basket cases into Cleveland.
So you're saying the front office should be out instead of Hugh Jackson?
Unfortunately, they're not going anywhere.
Anyway.
All right, we got to wrap things up here. Want to remind you, coming up tomorrow, we have a packed program. We will have our coaches show for the Cheyenne Stampede. That'll be in our 4 o'clock hour. We'll have some other guests joining us, too, on our program. We want to remind you tonight, you're going to have to help me out on our programming, what we have on Golden Age of Radio Theater from 8 to 10.
We no longer have at least Red Skelton.
Red's done.
He's done. We've gone through that entire serial, so we have introduced now Sherlock Holmes. So we'll have a little mystery and a little suspense afterwards. So Sherlock Holmes, at least for this week, it's normally going to be 2 shows in that 8 o'clock hour, but for today, the special reason, it's an elongated, it's a 45, 47-minute program, so we'll only have 1 Sherlock Holmes tonight and then 2 suspense theater. So, yes, Sherlock Holmes is our new radio program that will open up Golden Age of Radio for here on out.
We need some comedy, man.
I just did with Skelton.
We got to find some more comedy shows.
It's October. Might as well go with, Sherlock
mystery
Holmes.
and
mystery and
death
suspense.
And murder and all that other good stuff.
But it's mystery, though. And Sherlock Holmes has been, again, that's been a staple in Americana for however long.
All right, let's wrap things up here.